Welcome to the B2G Victory Cast, where we share insights and stories from industry leaders in the world of business to government. In Episode 4, Charting a New Course in Business Equity with Port Houston, we have a special guest, Brenda Ruiz, Supplier Diversity Manager with Port Houston, discussing their commitment to supplier diversity and inclusion.
Howdy, I'm Julie Hartman, your host for our B2G Victory Cast. My guest today is Brenda Ruiz, the Supplier Diversity Manager with Port Houston. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. I am so excited that you're a guest and all of the great things that are going on at Port Houston and Port Houston's dedication to growing Houston's small business, minority business, and women-owned businesses. Tell us how long you've been with Port Houston.
So I have been with Port Houston for quite some time. I kind of left and came back, but I've been with this department since 2019. And we did our disparity study in 2020. So it's been a couple years packed of growth and just moving forward and trying to help MWBEs, small minority women.
And that department that you mentioned, that's a fairly new department. It's the Business Equity Department led by Maxine Buckles, who is the first Chief Equity Officer of Port Houston.
Yes, this new department includes DEI and Business Equity, which is under Maxine Buckles. And it's fairly new. We're doing a lot of great things. We're growing. We've added several new team members to our efforts of making these programs grow.
Now, Port Houston was one of the first government agencies many, many years ago, like almost 30 years ago, to have a small business program. So y'all were one of the first game changers.
Yes, we've had a small business program since 2002. It's been a very successful small business program. And recently we added the Minority Women-Owned Business Program. So we do have two programs. In July of 2021, we began the Minority Women-Owned Business Program, but we have a very successful small business program since 2002.
And we're one of those small businesses that participate in Port Houston's small business program. And we also have B2G Victory clients, as well as probably fellow viewers and listeners that are small businesses or women-owned businesses that want to add Port Houston to their roster of clients. Walk us through what that process looks like.
So the first thing I would recommend anyone who wants to do business with Port Houston is to register in BuySpeed. If you want to be a vendor, whether you're small, minority, women are owned or not, you want to register with BuySpeed, create a profile because you want to start getting those notifications of what kind of opportunities are open. You do that. If you're already certified with one of our certifying partners, which you can find on our website, then you just need to get enrolled in our program by visiting our website and submitting an application. If you just go under the business tab, we have a little video, we have some steps, we have everything that you need there. And then if you're not certified as a SM or MWBE, we encourage you to go ahead and get certified with one of these partners so that you can join our program. And that's step one and two.
One and two. And Port Houston does business, obviously, with businesses, like you said, large and small. But the first step for any business is to get registered in BuySpeed. Is that correct?
Yes, because once you're registered, even if you're still in the process of getting certified, you want to start getting, acquainted with what kind of bids are going out and start reading those packages and being prepared. I think that the biggest advice that I could give any small or minority women-owned business is you have to be prepared, right? For when that opportunity shows up, you're ready. There might be one this month, there might be one next month, there might be one down the road, but whenever that opportunity does show up, you're ready and prepared to participate. You're enrolled, you're registered in BuySpeed and B2G now, and in our program.
And I love that you said you've got to be prepared. The co-founder of B2G Victory, Susan Repka, always says you've got to be prepared for those opportunities when they come. You mentioned this other platform. What is that other platform? B2G Now.
B2G Now. So when you go to our website and you go to our business compliance website, it's a program where that's where you kind of submit your application for enrollment. And that's what a lot of our certifying partners use as well.
Okay. So all businesses have to go to BuySpeed and
Yes,
get registered. And if you're a small woman or minority owned business that has a certification with one of your partnering agencies, that extra step is to go to B2G now, correct?
Right. It's through our website. You'll be able to see it once you click on business, and then it says Business Equity Compliance System. It'll take you straight to the website, and you just click on enroll. Okay. And then there's an application that you submit. And then if you have any problems, we're always available. Natasha Ainsworth, she's our certification generalist, and she does a wonderful job getting everybody enrolled or asking those questions. If you're not already certified, because Port Houston is not a certifying agency, but we do accept the certification of our certifying partners. And if you have a question, maybe which agency you should go to, have a conversation with Natasha or anybody in our business equity department, and they can help you or guide you to, maybe which agency might be best for your situation.
And I really love that you said that, because we get asked all the time. I bet you Susan gets an email 4 or 5 times a week in her inbox about, well, what certifications do I need? Well, what is your business strategy? What is your business focus? Well, what certifications do I need? And so that really is driven by where you want to take your business, what your past experience is, and most importantly, your capabilities, to what certifications you need, to what agency is the best and right fit for you to grow your business with. And it makes it so much easier for a small business or a women-owned business or minority-owned business that we don't have to get another certification, that y'all accept all of these certifications. For example, y'all accept Metro, Houston Metro, you accept the State of Texas Hub, you accept the Federal 8A certification, which are just a few of the many certifications that you accept. So it is almost like a fast track to do business with Port Houston if you've already got these other certifications.
Right. If you have done all the hard part, which is getting certified, then getting you enrolled is easy peasy. It's a snap.
Yeah. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to us, or they can reach out to the great team at Port Houston, who is dedicated. So you've got these 2 programs. You've got the small business program, which has goals. And then in addition to that, you also have the minority and women program, which also has goals.
Yes.
How do those goals work for a small business that has registered in BuySpeed and is registered for B2G now?
So we do contract by contract goal setting. So each contract is different depending on what is being procured. But as an organization, we have a participation goal of 35% for our small business program and an aspirational goal of 30% for our minority women-owned program. And we're working really hard to try to meet those goals. It's a fairly new program. It's been around since July 2021. And so we're still growing it. We're still trying to get people enrolled. But we are working towards those goals as an organization. The biggest thing that I could say is constantly check on our website. If you go to our website, there's a link that gets you to BuySpeed, and then you'll be able to see all the open bids. Your profile, you'll get notifications on what bids are open based on the codes that you have on your profile. So you want to make sure that those codes are correct. But sometimes you still want, I would still recommend to be on top of what bids are out there. Make it a habit. Log in, say, okay, what's out there? What's come out? Because you might not have that code on your profile, but hey, I can do that work. Attend pre-proposal meetings. Those are big. You are able, when you attend pre-proposal meetings, you're able to see who was in the meeting, who's interested in this project. You can also go to the website, and where it says open bid, you click on bidders list, and you can download everybody who's downloaded that. So you see who's interested. Who can I reach out to? Who can I say, hey, this is the kind of service I can do?
On that bidders list, it's got all those big prime contractors that have to meet these goals, that need capable and qualified and certified small businesses to help the overall project be successful. So really everybody wins.
Yes.
So there's the bids, there's you mentioned, and then the pre-bid meetings. Port Houston also, in addition to these great goals and continued support for small women and minority-owned businesses has a couple of other programs very unique to the port. Tell us about OpportunityU.
So OpportunityU is a program that we have a couple of cohorts every year. Right now there's one going underway, and there should be one, I think, at the end of April that should be starting up. You apply for it. They take you through 10 weeks of just classes full of information. They'll walk you through how to do a bid proposal. They'll walk you through our system. They'll have you an opportunity to talk to some of the departments. It's a great way to teach you how to do business with Port Houston and how to. There's a class on capability statements. And it all is to help you be prepared for when that opportunity shows up.
And walk you through every
Yes.
single nuance and every single
Yes.
step. So you mentioned capability statements, and we talk a lot about capability statements and the codes, the NAICS codes and the NIGP codes. So when you've got your capability statement, then you've got those codes to enter into B2G Now and to BuySpeed, and
Yes.
to have those conversations with Port Houston buyers.
Right.
When you are ready,
Right.
when those opportunities come up.
Right.
Brenda, could you share with us a few success stories of businesses that have grown with Port Houston?
Yes, we have several small businesses and minority-owned businesses that have been able to be awarded contracts with Port Houston. Recently, we had an award to Indy Constructions, and they were awarded as a prime for the maintenance addition at Bayport Terminal. So that was great. We've had Envioneer, who was able to secure a procurement as well with Port Houston, and they were a U of 8.
That's wonderful.
And they were a graduate.
Yeah, an OpportunityU graduate. And then we have a client, Chef Yo with Newski's Catering, who does
Yes.
tons of catering opportunities for Port Houston. So it's really exciting to see a government agency that sets these goals, achieves these goals, and then you're able to see these businesses grow and help not only within their neighborhood, their community, but hire more people and start off as a subcontractor and then it'd be a prime as on their own contract, which is really cool. I get really excited when I talk about
Yes.
things like that. What are some other examples of ways that Port Houston is breaking down these barriers to make it easier? Because it can be a little intimidating, it can be a little frustrating, and a little overwhelming. And so share with us some ways that Port Houston is breaking down these barriers for businesses.
So by setting contract by contract goals, that has been able to really allow us to look at every contract individually and say what opportunities do we have for MWBEs. We always encourage, and we work with our PCM group and other groups in our Port Houston to see how we can unbundle and how we can maybe break down these bigger contracts into smaller contracts. So that's always a constant conversation that we're having at Port Houston.
Oh, that's awesome, because a lot of businesses want to get into government contracting, but to get that 1 million contract would be great, but maybe you got to start small, right? And maybe you don't have a crew large enough for $1 million contract. So they could come and do a smaller contract, or, space out a few contracts over multiple months to help build their capacity, build that confidence with doing business with Port Houston, and build their capacity and grow their business as well. So
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And so we always encourage you to always go to porthouston.com. And if you go to vendor opportunities, there is a link for our upcoming projects that are in the pipeline. They haven't made it to the streets yet. They're not on open for bid yet, but they are in the pipeline. So you're able to see what is coming up. So you can kind of prepare. On there, you'll have the contact of who's doing that project or who the PM is. If you have questions, reach out to them before they go out and procure these contracts.
When you download the upcoming projects off of Port Houston's website, I love it because it has the codes,
Yes.
it has the scopes of services, and some of these are construction, some of these aren't construction or construction related. It has the buyer, so you can start that relationship with that buyer, like you said, before it hits the streets. And maybe they have other projects that are a fit right now or later. So a business, whether you're small, large, woman, or minority, can sit with your business plan and look and see where are my opportunities specifically with Port Houston. How do I establish that relationship with the buyer? How do I communicate with that buyer my capability statement? And before anybody reaches out to any buyer, you've got to make sure that you're on buy speed. And if you are a certified owned business, go ahead and register in B2G now. Is that correct?
Right, that is correct.
Before you even pick up the phone or before you even send that first email, make sure that you're prepared, that you've done that homework, because that's going to help set you apart from everyone else who's going to call or contact the buyer.
Right. That is 100% correct. Just being aware of what is coming at the pipeline, making sure that you are registered, that you are able and ready, and we call it ready, willing, and able to participate when the opportunity comes.
You mentioned OpportunityU, which Susan and I are fortunate enough to be one of the presenters with that. We handle the RFP session as well as the capability statement. But I know Port Houston does other trainings and is constantly out in the community. Share with our viewers and our listeners some other things that y'all do.
So we have a couple of training initiatives that we're working on. We work with Tellefson, we work with McCarthy on helping train on certain things to do business with, these bigger jobs. We also have a training initiative right now. We call it our fee cap training. If you go to our website, you'll find all the information. If you are an engineering firm that does inspections, we're kind of have this course laid out, which is a self-paced course where you can go in there and kind of go through these videos and trainings at your own pace. And then you do have to come to the port and do like an in-person kind of test. But it's helping you for when those opportunities come out to kind of, we're training you on what we're looking for.
Brenda, there's a common misconception that in order to do business with Port Houston, you have to be in construction or construction related. Can you give us some examples of other things that Port Houston buys that are not construction or construction related?
So we have a lot of consulting work that comes out. We have some marketing needs, some graphic needs, promotional items, anything like from office supplies. We have cleaning services that we need for our facilities. We have all sorts of things because at the end of the day, we have an office where we're running, we're operating. We're also procuring goods like, tires, batteries, things that we, our maintenance department needs to operate. We're constantly putting those bids out there.
So if a business doesn't know the right step, or if it's something that they're like, I'm not sure if Port Houston buys it or not, someone could reach out to you.
Yes.
And you will direct them to what are the proper NAICS codes and who's the proper buyer and some history of what Port Houston has previously bought for that specific product or service. Is that correct?
Right. Please, if you have any questions or you're not sure, we're always available. We want to help. We want to educate. We want to answer those questions. So reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to help answer those questions.
And what is the best way for someone to get in contact with you?
So you can reach anybody at the office. We're always there. We're always working. We're always available. But you can reach out to 713-670-2528. You can reach out through email. My email is bruiz@porthouston.com. If you go to our website, you'll see, if you're looking for questions on certifications, reach out to Natasha Ainsworth. If you're looking for questions about OpportunityU, reach out to Natasha Buccaneer. But all that information is out there, and we want you to reach out to us. We want to answer these questions for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so very much. And as we conclude our time together, we'd like to leave our viewers and our listeners with a victory moment. Is there a personal victory moment that you'd like to share with us about your time at Port Houston?
So Port Houston has done so much and is working towards so many goals that we're trying to achieve. And it's just been really wonderful to be at Port Houston and seeing all that growth and be part of the growth. We're adding this program was huge. Constantly working towards growing both of these programs is huge. And, our department continues to grow and we continue to grow our team members. And so that's just been wonderful to be part of this journey.
Well, I've really enjoyed my time with Brenda Ruiz, Supplier Diversity Manager with Port Houston, and want to personally thank you for everything you, your team, and everyone at Port Houston has done for small businesses, women-owned businesses, and minority-owned businesses, not only here in Harris County, but also the 8 contiguous counties. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today and for helping us spread that message that we're trying to grow our program and help small businesses and minority women-owned businesses grow with us.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to the B2G Victory Cast. Make sure to visit our website at b2gvictory.com for more information and resources. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. We'll see you on the next episode.